Welcome, everybody, to Hiveswap, the extended Zodiac. It's not Hiveswap Friendsim later. I've been doing that for so many weeks. It's muscle memory now at this point. My name is Brodemus, and last week I said I wouldn't be able to do Hiveswap Friendsim because I am currently gone on a vacation. I'm off gallivanting somewhere else, away from my computer and away from the delicious Friendsims. But this is the extended Zodiac test quiz thing. I don't know how long this is going to take. I never took it. This was released prior to Hiveswap Act 1, I believe. I don't remember exactly, but this is like, oh gosh, it's like, what, 288 new, like not new, but like there are signs total that you can be. And like a lot of the new trolls that they've released for Friendsim have these signs and whatnot. I never took the quiz. I was planning on doing it as like a special thing when Hiveswap Act 2 came out. Hiveswap Act 2 never came out. So I figured, hey, let's do it this time while in the interim between, in like the little, like the intermission. Let's go Homestuck terminology out. We're in the intermission between acts. So hey, let's do this. Because before, so I'm a Scorpio, so Vriska was my troll. She was my bae. Even though she's a complete and total bitch, she was my bae. That's what I identified with. Now there was a quiz way back in the day when Homestuck was like at its peak that someone put together. I can't remember their Tumblr username now, but it was basically like a quiz. It was kind of, if I remember right, kind of numbers based, but it gave you your class spec, your hero of aspect. I took that quiz and I ended up getting Knight of Void, which I was like, that's awesome. That's super fucking dope. That's crazy cool. That's an awesome name and everything. It was great. I loved it. But I figured, hey, now I never did the troll or the extended Zodiac thing. Let's do it in the intermission for the interim between Friendsim parts. Next week, I did look at the calendar. Next week, we'll be able to go back to our regularly scheduled Friendsim. It'll be a double episode next week, like Gorgor and Vicare. So we'll be fine there. So let's get started with this. The extended Zodiac expands on the meaning of your traditional Zodiac sign by determining your true sign. First, select your birth sign according to the traditional Zodiac, or you can pick the sign that you most closely identify with. These are the signs you've heard of, like Aries, Taurus, etc., but in the extended Zodiac, those signs refer to an entire category of signs. So, I am a Scorpio. Like I said, I identified with Vriska. I didn't identify with Vriska, but Vriska was my symbol, so like she was always kind of like, loved her, hated her, loved her. So we're going to go with Scorpio to start off. Easy enough. Submit. Excuse me. You selected the blue sign class, which is cerulean sign. That means your true sign is one of the signs below. To find out which, continue taking the test. Blue signs are powerful, effective, and potentially incredibly destructive. Magnetic and hypnotic. They tend to have many friends. Not true in the slightest, but only allow an elite few close. Get one on your side, and you have a valuable ally. You'll learn more about what it means to be a blue sign when you see the final results of the test. I guess that's not true. The way I put it, I have this phenomenal ability of making people think that I like them, when in actuality, I don't. I just pretend to like people so they don't bother me as much. Which is kind of a really shitty thing to say, but maybe that is true. I don't know. Now you will need to determine your lunar sway. This test tells you whether you are a prospect dreamer or a durst dreamer. Either one says something about your perspective on life and the world around you. Let's scroll down here. So prospect and durst, the two like, they're two world moons. They're moons. It's called lunar sway. Of course, they're moons. That were on Homestuck, and when they played either Suburb or Scrub, you probably all know this. They were either prospect dreamers or durst dreamers. They mean different things. It was beyond me, because like I said many a time before, I'm too dumb to understand some of these things. I just enjoy Homestuck, and it was cool. Finding out your lunar sway is one of two critical pieces of information needed to determine your true sign. For each question below, choose the answer that most closely reflects your perspective. Okay, so this might actually be a bit longer than I was anticipating. Some people on the internet are negatively discussing something you hold dear. You could just let it slide, or you could get in there and defend it with your life. How do you respond? I leave it alone. I'll rejoin the conversation when the topic is passed. I'll stay out of it for the most part, except possibly to correct some factual errors I might notice, which could be negatively influencing their view of the thing I like. C, I'll chime in with my opinion, saying that I like the thing, but I won't really argue about it, to each their own. D, I jump in and defend a thing, stating why I like it and why their criticism is wrong, but I won't take it too far. E, I will die on a hill for the things I like. I love to argue in their defense. That's the part of the fun of having passion for things. So I'm definitely not A or E. If I like something, I will kind of like jump in, correct some factual errors. I jump in and defend the thing, saying why I like it and why the criticism is wrong, but I won't take it too far. I think I'd probably go with C. The thing is, like, I don't like fighting with people, particularly because I always feel like people don't listen when I talk to them. It's like, I don't know. People just don't listen, in my opinion. So, like, I'll jump in and be like, no, I like this thing, but I'm not going to really, like, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong about it. So I guess, like, yeah, to each their own. That's kind of the thing. Is like, you can like it or not like it. I don't give a shit. As long as you're not an asshole to me, you can believe whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. All right, number 2, you are all set to cook dinner. When you realize you are missing a couple key ingredients from the recipe you're using, what do? A, toss out the recipe completely and wing it. B, find a different recipe that you have all the ingredients for. C, it honestly depends on what I'm cooking, if it's something I've made before, etc. D, follow the recipe but make a couple substitutions, use it as a guideline. E, go to the store and get the ingredients you're missing. What's the point of having a recipe at all if you don't follow it? Ooh, that's weird. I'm definitely B or E. Although I have literally gone to the store to get ingredients that I'm missing, so it's probably E. I have actually done that. A recipe that we frequently make in my household is pork cutlet bowls, because my wife and I'm married, it's whatever. My wife and I really liked Yuri on Ice, and all the jokes about pork cutlet bowls, and then we watched, what was it? Restaurant to Another World, and there's a whole thing about pork cutlet bowls, one of the storylines revolves around them, and so we decided to make it, and I gotta say, I've gotten pretty good at making it. It's delicious, as far as I'm concerned, if I may toot my own horn for a second. But we were missing green onions for, like, the broth mixture that you have to make. And I was like, fuck, we're out of green onions. And I was like, hey, do you mind watching this while I go get green onions? Literally all we were missing was green onions. I think we even had, like, regular yellow onions that we could have used, but I was like, no, I need to go get green onions. So E. Yeah, actually E. I just talked myself into it. Thanks, guys. You helped out a lot. How do you feel? Number 3, how do you feel meeting online friends in person for the first time? I have never once done this. So this is going to be all speculative on my part. A, only excited. We already know and like each other, nothing to worry about. B, quite positive. Things are going to go fine. C, good, but you'll see how things go. Hard to say until you've met someone. D, a bit nervous. You like them, are looking forward to it in theory, but can't shake the sense of social apprehension anytime you meet someone new. Or E, anxious. Even though you've gotten along online, you can't help but worry how it'll go in person. Oh, I'm definitely D or E. I'm definitely D or E. I don't have that many online friends. Everyone I know online is someone I knew or have known in real life. With the exception of, like, the only, like, good internet friend that I would consider was a Homestuck voice acting buddy back in the day, Tazberry, if you've heard of her. She was amazing. She was always the person I went to voice Terezi and different other girls in the comics I fanned of and stuff like that. She was incredible. Tazberry is one of my closest friends. I haven't talked to her in years, and it was really shitty of me because I'm a terrible friend, but I've never met her in real life. I would probably say, man. I'll probably have to say E, honestly, because I'm not a very social person, and oh man, it would be that thing where you start to feel sick, I imagine. Like I said, this is all speculative. I would probably start to have that sick feeling. I'm not good in social situations in the slightest. So it would probably be E. Even if I know them online, I can't help but worry. I'm a worrier. All right, number 4. You're having a hard time grasping a topic in a class that everyone else seems to be fine with. You, A, raise your hand immediately to straighten things out, you probably just misheard or tuned out for a few minutes. B, lean over and ask a friend. They'd probably be happy to explain it to you. C, email the professor or attend their office hours. No point interrupting the class. D, do research on your own. You're more than capable of figuring this out. E, do some thinking and surmise that the class and the professor are wrong about this topic. You still memorize the answers for the test, though. Definitely not E. I'm definitely not E. Probably not A. Honestly, I'm more of a lean over and ask kind of a person. Also because I was that person in high school. I've said before, I'm 25, I'm turning 26 this year. I'm done with high school and college at this point, but I was definitely the type of person like, hey, what the fuck does that mean? So I think I'll probably be B. I'm either B or D is the thing. I do like to do research on my own. I'll probably go with B. All right, moving on to number 5. This is going to be way longer than I anticipated. Number 5. You start taking lessons to learn something you've wanted to for a while. A language class, art class, bartending lessons, etc. But decide a few weeks in that it definitely isn't your thing. You decide to stick it out, though. Why? A. You never know, it might grow on you. B. You spent money and time on this already. You're going to finish it. That's the sunk cost fallacy. C. It's already on your schedule for the next couple of weeks and you don't want to move stuff around. D. You aren't a quitter. If you dedicate yourself to something, you're going to do it. Doesn't matter how hard it is. E. If you stop, it means that you didn't like this thing as much as you thought you did, which means you didn't know yourself the way you thought you did, which is unacceptable. Oh, man. So I'm already decided I'm going to keep going through with it. You never know, it might grow on you. I spent money and time on this. That's sunk cost fallacy, which I disagree with on a fundamental level. It's already on your schedule for the next couple of weeks. I don't care about that. You aren't a quitter. If you dedicate yourself to something, you're going to do it. That's how I explain myself with food. You ever do that thing where, like, you're eating and you get full, but you're like, I'm not gonna let this food fucking beat me. I'm gonna eat this until I'm done. And E, if you stop, it means you didn't like this as much as you thought you did, which means you don't know yourself the way you thought you did, which is unacceptable. Oh, man. Honestly, probably that. There's no one who hates me as much as me, is how I do it. So, like, if I don't know that if I thought I liked something, and then it's like, oh, I didn't like this actually, and it starts getting shitty. Although I do kind of agree with the idea that it might grow on you. Fuck me. I'm gonna have to go with, you never know, it might grow on you. You didn't know yourself. You didn't, wait. God, that's a tough one, actually. I want to say I'm not a quitter, honestly. I don't like leaving things alone. Like, I tried to learn guitar a couple weeks ago, but then, like, it just didn't fit into my schedule. It just couldn't work, so I did stop doing that. If I dedicate myself to something, I'm gonna do it. I do that with my jobs a lot of the time. Even when I hate the job, I was raised to very much be like, yeah, no, you do the best you can for the job. So I think I'm gonna go with D, actually. This is all pointed at Durst, right? I gotta be going Durst at this point. I have no idea. When you're on holiday, number 6, do you prefer to leave your itinerary mostly up to chance, or do you plan out ahead of time? No planning, it's a holiday. Who wants a schedule? B, you plan out a few key things, but mostly play it by ear. C, you can go either way. It depends on the situation, where you're going, etc. D, having a few things left open is fun, but for the most part, you like to plan it. E, thorough planning. Hard to relax unless most things are considered in advance. Having things left is fun, but for the most part, I like to plan it. Either way, depends. I like to plan a few things out, but mostly play it by ear. So like I said, currently, when this video comes out, I am on a vacation. Actually, I am on a holiday currently. And we kind of planned some things out. And well, you had to do a lot of planning, because we had to, like, plan a hotel, plan where we're going, things like that. So I want to say, but, like, at that point, I think it also depends. It goes either way. We have to... I think, actually, no, D. I like to plan a trip. Yeah, no, B. We're going with B. I like to plan a few key things that are important. You need, like, booking the hotel, travel, how to get there, food, things like that. But then once you get there and you have, like, fun things planned out, you can have things that you're going to, but at that point, it's just like, hey, do what you want. So I'm going to say B. I'm going to go B. Moving on to 7. A friend of yours and someone you don't know are caught up in a heated argument. They've asked you to help to facilitate. You want to support your friend, but after hearing both sides, you actually agree with the stranger. How do you choose who to support? A, you side with your friend all the way. Friendship is more important than the truth. B, you highlight anything about your friend's side that you agree with and tactfully don't mention the rest. C, you look for a neutral angle that supports both sides in different ways. D, you delicately disagree with your friend while doing everything you can to show you still support them. Or E, fully side with the stranger. The truth is important even at risk hurting friendship. I'm going to D. I'm definitely the kind of person who's like, what do you think about this? I go, well, here's the thing. This is what it actually is, or this is what I think it is. I will always put in my opinion on it, even if it does disagree. I like to think that I have good enough friends that would understand at that point, but like I can respect that. I have had friends like that. So it's like I will disagree where I can, because if I don't agree with something, I'm not going to lie to somebody. That's not how I am. All right, number 8. You have a very important message to write over email or some other text communication method. It's a sensitive matter, difficult to compose, possibly of an emotional or confrontational nature. When you're done writing, you're about to hit the send button. What next? A, you click immediately. Better get it over and done with quickly. B, not just yet. You give it one more read, maybe change a couple things, then send away. C, after giving another read, you decide to take some time and come back to it later with fresh eyes. Maybe have a friend read it too before sending. D, you save a draft and decide to sleep on it. When you look at it again, you might have second thoughts about sending, or you might rewrite it altogether. Or E, you save a draft to revisit later, but when you do, you start to agonize. Maybe you rewrite once or twice, but doubts continue to creep. Past experience shows there's a decent chance you may never just send it. I'm definitely B. I will, maybe not one more read, I will read it multiple times, even if it's not important. Like if I'm posting on like Tumblr or Reddit or something like that, I will always go back and read over YouTube comments. I will read over it like 4 or 5 times, and then I will eventually send it. My social anxiety creeps into even online interactions, so it's just like and then I finally go, all right, just get it done, like after reading it 7 times. So I'm definitely B. I don't ever sleep on anything like that, so we're gonna go with that. All right. Your luminous way is Durst. Who would have seen that coming? Durst dreamers are skeptical, restless, and prone to rebellion. Valuing rational thought and calculation, very true, they tend to know themselves far better than they know the world around them, finding it difficult to live in the moment. You will learn more about what it means to be a Durst dreamer when you see the final results of the test. Now you will need to determine your aspect. The result of this test tells you whether your aspect is breath, blood, life, doom, light, void, time, space, heart, mind, rage, or hope. Like I said, last test I took, the Tumblr test that was years ago now, I was void. Knight of void is what I was. It's like, here's all the ones. These are all from Homestuck, of course. John was breath. Dave was time. Karkat was blood. Where's Witch? Or, not Void, Space. That's Jade. Y'all know this if you read Homestuck. Finding out your aspect is the final piece of information needed to determine your true sign. For each question below, choose the answer that most closely reflects your perspective. Alright, let's get into it. Let's get into this aspect thing. 1. Think about your life as if it's a story, and you're the main protagonist. Do you tend to view yourself as a lone hero, or the lone hero, who along the way meets other supporting characters who only have a tangential relation to your personal journey? Or do you view yourself as just one hero and an ever-shifting ensemble of important protagonists? A. A loner hero all the way. B. Often lone hero, not always. C. Either one, can't say for sure. D. Often part of an ensemble, not always. E. Part of an ensemble all the way. Oh, man. I want to say... I definitely don't think... I don't think I'm the main character, is the thing. So, but I am the main... According to this question, I am the protagonist. But I really don't think I can do anything by myself. I definitely need people to help me with that. Or with anything along the way. So that's probably part of an ensemble, actually. Maybe we'll go with often, because I think there are things that I can do by myself. I am capable of doing things by myself. I am capable of autonomy. But I think a lot of the... I've worked as a team a lot of the time. I worked in theater when I was in college. That's what I went to school for, actually, was theater and acting. But I was part of the design crew also. My sophomore year, I started working on lighting design, which I did by myself, but I was a part of a group effort to make the show as good as it could. So I think part of an ensemble, but not always. I did have autonomy. I was able to be my own individual, my own hero, I guess. So go D. 2. When you want to help people accomplish something and they don't know what they're doing, are you inclined to show them how to do it, or are you inclined to make them feel motivated or inspired to do it? A. Definitely show them. B. Lean towards showing them. C. I'll go either way. D. Lean toward motivating them. Or E. Definitely motivate them. I definitely like to show people. I feel like there's a certain element. So there's different types of learning, right? To where you can either just hear it and know what you're doing. There's auditory learners, and there's visual learners. Visual learners, I feel like visual learning is easier, even if someone isn't a visual learner. I feel like that is easier to show people. So showing people how to rewire a light, for example. I would go and show them, okay, these are the wires I have to go in here, because I can tell people all day the green wire goes here, the black wire goes here, and the white wire goes here, or if there's 2 white wires, they go in the same one. I can say that all day, but I feel like at the end of the day, that would be more confusing than if I just said, here's a plug, these wires go here, yada, 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 yada. This is how you set it up, this is how you twist it. I definitely like to show people how to do things. Show them a couple of times so they get it, and then I will be around if they have any questions. I definitely show people. Moving on to 3. When you are learning about a new subject or reading a fascinating story, do you feel a strong desire to know everything about it and have all your questions answered, or are you more compelled or inspired by the feelings of mystery surrounding not knowing everything? A. I absolutely need to know everything. I'm obsessive about it. B. I'm very curious, drawn towards knowing. C. Can't decide. D. I'm okay not having all the answers. Sense of mystery is fun. E. Totally fine not knowing anything. I'd rather relax. I definitely need questions answered. I don't need to know everything, but I do like knowing everything. I do like knowing more things about it. There are things that bother me about certain things. So we got into this fight about Fairy Tail. You're gonna learn that I'm a fucking loser if you guys stick around for any amount of time. But we were rewatching Fairy Tail because the last season's coming up. And my biggest problem was that they come back. If you know anything about spoilers for Fairy Tail, if they come back from Edelus, which is alternate Earth for them, and they have these magical creatures called Exceeds, which are winged cats. They come back, and then they go and make their own thing, and they spread across society. And that's the last we fucking see of them. We see a few Exceeds here and there, but that's it. We don't know anything about the Exceeds that happened after they came back to Earthland. And that bothers me that I don't know what fucking happened, especially after the time skip. There's a 7-year time skip, and we don't hear anything about this Exceed civilization, or these hundreds of Exceeds that are scattered across Earthland now. We don't know anything about them, and it really pisses me off. So, but at the same time, it's I don't need to know everything. If they answer the questions, it's fine. If there's some mystery, there is some fun speculation, so I think I'm gonna go with B. I am very curious, I like to know things, but I'm fine not having everything. Alright, moving on to 4. When you hear someone explaining something to someone else in a way that is questionable, or in a way that makes you suspect they don't fully understand the subject they are explaining, are you more inclined to teach them everything you know about the subject to set the record straight, or just cast out on the misinformation without offering much in the way of correction? A. I'll jump right in and set the record straight on everything. B. I'll provide a correction or two but won't get carried away. C. I'd probably stay out of it. D, I wouldn't be too specific, but I'd let people know it sounds fishy. E, I wouldn't bother re-educating people, but I'd absolutely punch as many holes in their story as I could. That's a dickhead thing to me. That's rude to me. Just be like, nah, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. So I think, honestly, I do like... God, it sounds really shitty. I do like explaining to people. I like helping people learn things. I do like teaching people. So I would try to probably just jump right in and say, like, no, this is what it is. They have these things right, but here's things that, like, if you have any doubts about it, here are the answers to that, if I know about it. So actually, probably A, honestly. I do like jumping in and help set the record straight. It sounds like a dickhead thing to do, just be like, no, you're wrong. But the way I would go about it is be like, hey, this is the thing. I like to ramble. You guys should know me by now. I like to ramble. I'm rambling now. So that's probably what I would do. Moving on to 5. If you could choose one ability, which would it be? The ability to travel to any period in history on Earth at will, past or future, or the ability to safely travel, such as on a nice ship, anywhere in the universe at will instantly? Definitely time travel, no question. Leaning toward time travel, but the other sounds pretty cool. C, too hard to choose. D, leaning towards space travel, but the other sounds pretty cool. E, definitely space travel, no question. Oh man, I really like history. However, there is a certain existential anxiety I have that I won't be able to see everything in the universe. I won't be able to space travel. I won't be able to go to the moon or to Mars or anything like that, or past the edges of our solar system. However, I would absolutely love to go back and experience history. Go back and see the Roman Empire. Go back and see ancient China. I would love to be able to go see that. So I think I'm going to have to go with B. Leaning towards time travel, because I love history, and I love the ideas behind history, the crazy shit that happens over the course of history. But that space travel thing's, it's too hard to choose. Nope, time travel. Yeah, we're leaning towards time travel. We're leaning towards time travel, but man, it'd be fucking cool if I could do that. Alright, 6. If you are working on a project, something you're doing for yourself, not for anyone else, are you obsessively focused on the end result of the project, or are you enjoying the process regardless of how it turns out? I already know the answer to this. End result is usually the most important thing. B, result is very important, but would like to enjoy it along the way too. C, result and process about equally important. D, enjoying the process is very important, but would like to feel worthwhile at end too. E, enjoying the process is easily the most important thing. That's B. I get stressed out about things, even if it's stupid shit. Like, I did a Gamzee cosplay back in 2012 when I went to Anime Expo, and it was stressful. Like, I had fun doing it, and I wanted to do it because I thought it would be fun, but I wanted it to look good, and it was disappointing by the time I got to the end of it. So, like, I wanted it to look good, but have fun doing it, but I think the end result to me is the most important thing. That might be my theater training coming along also. I want the set to look good, I want the lighting to look good, and along the way, if it's stressful, but like a good kind of stressful, that's fine, but if it's too much, then it's not really worth it in the end. So I think the result is very important to me, but I do want to enjoy it. I want to have fun doing it, but if it doesn't look good, I'm going to be disappointed. Number 7. Which option best describes what's more important to you? Understanding yourself and fully knowing who you are, or thinking rationally and making strong decisions? A, definitely understanding myself. If I had to pick one over the other, that would be my clear priority. B, leaning toward understanding myself. C, can't really decide. D, leaning toward thinking rationally. E, definitely thinking rationally. If I had to pick one over the other, that would be my priority. Honestly, probably E. I do like to think logically through things. I try not to be too emotional. I do get emotional. I do get very heated or attached or upset or happy or whatever, but I think I definitely am making strong decisions. I definitely like to think more. I like to think through things logically and what is the best option for something. So I think I'm gonna go with E. This I'm gonna say this a number of times. This is way longer than I thought I was gonna be. Number 8. What idea is more interesting to you? The ability to fully understand your potential as a person, or the ability to fully understand all potential consequences of all your actions before taking them? A, I want to understand my personal potential, no question. B, somewhat more interested in understanding my personal potential. C, both equally desirable. D, somewhat more interested in understanding all consequences of my actions. Or E, want to understand all consequences of my actions, no problem. I would absolutely love to know, if I made this choice today, what butterfly effect is that going to do? What until dawn thing is that going to cause down the line? I would absolutely love to know that. Are you kidding me? If I could know the consequences of every single one of my actions years into the future, that would be wonderful. You would never make a wrong decision again. That'd be awesome. Number 9. Which better describes your attitude? Having great conviction in certain beliefs or ideas you're attached to, or casting strong doubt on beliefs or ideas you dislike? Definitely having conviction in beliefs I like, which better describes your attitude. B, a little more attached to having conviction in beliefs I like. C, can't decide. D, a little more attracted to casting doubt on beliefs I dislike. Or E, definitely casting doubt on beliefs I dislike. Oh boy, attracted in conviction in beliefs I like. The thing is, having my own conviction in something isn't going to have an effect in the Lar thing. I'm but one person. But if I can cast doubt onto things I don't like about, if I can help change someone's thing, ideally for the better. I like to think that I try to be a good person as not a good person as I can. I'm human, right? No one's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But it sounds super shitty. It makes you sound like an asshole going like, I like to cast doubt onto people for if they disagree with me. I don't like that. But it's more like, to me, it's like, I want to cast doubt if someone thinks something shitty. Like, someone thinks like, oh, if someone's like super racist, I want to cast doubt like, why do you think that way? What is that about? Like, what is that about like that? And hopefully maybe that doubt can help someone else become a better person in the end. That's how I like to think about that. Maybe that's a little self-righteous, maybe it's a little too holier than thou, but I don't know. What I want to do is try and make the world a better place by people having a paradigm shift that maybe makes them think, a little bit differently, approach things a bit differently. So I'm more attached to casting doubt. I like to have conviction in my own beliefs because I am an individual, but I do like to try and cast that little bit of doubt. Devil's advocate, I guess, is what it is. Yeah, we'll just go with that. Number 10. How many are there? Probably 12, right? When circumstances are intolerably bad, which are you more inclined to do? Come up with the best alternatives to solutions and work as hard as you can to make those happen instead, or don't worry about a better alternative, burn it all down and whatever follows. You'll just deal with it as it comes. A, I'm not doing a thing until I have a better solution in place first. B, inclined to have a solution first, but not absolutely. C, I don't have an opinion on this. D, inclined to get out the bad situation as soon as possible, but not averse to considering alternatives. E, burn it down. Absolutely getting out of the bad situation ASAP, deal with the consequences later. No, I'm not about that. The problem is, and this goes back to that butterfly effect thing, I don't know the consequences of my actions. So, I get the full consequences. I can plan out as much as I like, so I want to have a solution. I like fixing problems. I like fixing things. If things go wrong, I like to try and rectify them and make them better. However, I think there is a certain thing that you have to leave up to chance. Everything you have, it's a slight roll of the dice. You can add modifiers and you can move things into your favor as much as you possibly can, but I think at the end of the day, there's a certain leaf in the wind aspect. So I think I'm gonna go with B with that one. Just because I want to have a solution first. I do want to have one first, but if I can't think of something, or I have multiple solutions that I think could work, we'll go with that. Because having a single solution, that sounds more like A, doesn't it? I'm not doing anything until I have it. Nah, I'll go first. I'll start moving towards something, even if I don't have it completely set in stone. All right, 11. If you see someone suffering, are you most inclined to do whatever you can to help them get better, or is your instinct to relate to their suffering, to empathize, without necessarily considering how you can help? A, I'll do whatever's in my power to help them, that's all I'm thinking about. B, I'll focus mostly on helping, but won't be able to stop myself from relating to the problem somewhat. C, not sure how I'd react. D, my first impulse would be to empathize with their suffering, but after that I'd probably figure out what I can do to help. E, I'm not really great at I'm really not great at helping. I'm generally overcome with other feelings relating to their suffering, which makes me not that useful. Actually, that's 100% D for me. I will try and relate to them so I can show a sort of kindred spirit. Maybe that looks a little selfish or like self-centered, but I will try and show like, hey, you're not alone with this. Let's see what we can do to help you out with this. So definitely D for me on that one. That's a pretty hard D. 12, last one. When someone suffers misfortune so terrible that you know there is nothing anyone can do for them, are you most inclined to feel horrible that nothing can be done, or feel resigned to the sense that this is the way of the world and some things just can't be helped? A, feel absolutely horrible that there's no way to help this person, would probably end up trying to think of ways to help regardless. B, would feel bad there's nothing that can be done, would probably accept there's no way to help though. C, hard to say. D, likely would feel somewhat resigned right away, might briefly consider how to help, but no, it's not realistic. Or E, feel absolutely resigned to their terrible situation because that's just the way things so often are. Oh man. Would feel bad there's nothing that can be done, would probably accept there's no way to help though. Like would feel somewhat resigned right away, might briefly consider how to help, but no, it's not realistic. Actually, probably B. I'd feel bad, I'd be like, that's super shitty. And like, I wouldn't be resigned to it right away. I'd be like, is there any... God, that sounds more like D, wouldn't it? Like would feel somewhat resigned right away, might briefly consider how to help, but no, it's not realistic. Or I'm definitely B or D. Would feel bad, there's nothing that can be done, would probably accept there's no way to help though. There's nothing to be done about it. I wish I could help, but I can't. I'm going to go with B. Those two are really similar to me. All right, let's submit. Mind! Interesting. Your aspect is mind. The mind-bound are highly rational strategists, able to see numerous possible paths and weigh their consequences. Their strict adherence to logic can seem inflexible, but their fluid identities more than make up for it. You'll learn more about what it means to be mind-bound when you see the final results of the test. You now have enough information to determine your true side. Alright, let's reveal my true sign. Scorza. Interesting. Sign. There isn't a troll with that symbol, is there? Sign of the strategist. If your true sign is Scorza, then you possess the unique combination of qualities held by all blue signs, Durst Dreamers, and Mindbound. Alright, let's read through this. Sign class blue. Let's not mince word, blue signs are the ones to watch. Of all the sign classes, they have the potential to do the most good, but also cause the worst harm. They can be incredibly effective and also incredibly destructive. Tell a blue sign this and chances are they would agree with you. They are magnetic and adaptive, able to adjust how they present themselves in any situation. They have a mask for every occasion. They are obsessively dedicated, willing to throw themselves into work, play, and everything in between. Because of this, blue signs are highly valuable allies and friends. However, they are very selective when it comes to who they let into their inner circle. You could be best friends with a blue sign and still never truly know them. They are powerful and successful, but they also tend toward jealousy. They often resent those they see as more well-positioned than they are. A well-adjusted blue sign is fantastically competent and inspiring, but a blue sign at their worst is a force for chaos. In love, they can find themselves having to choose between their ambitions and their relationships, often with great difficulty. So that's fairly accurate. I don't put a whole lot of stock into astrology or anything like that, but that's fairly accurate. This goes back to my whole thing about how, like, but anyone I meet, even if I don't like them, they think that I like them. I have a good way of making people think that I like them, that I enjoy their company, when in reality I am internally suffering. So that fits into the mask of every occasion, how they present themselves. And I do adjust myself depending on who I'm talking to. So it's kind of fake, which sounds really shitty, but I do it anyway. Alright, Lunar Swayed Durst. Durst Dreamers have personalities marked by a distinct and restless skepticism. Whatever their waking circumstances, chances are they will live in a state of dissatisfaction. Rebellion is in their blood, manifesting whether they are fighting back against a fascist dictatorship or the most recent trend in casual footwear. Durst Dreamers are cerebral and self-aware. They have a far better grasp on the landscape of their own minds than on the world around them, which they can find alienating and confusing. But as so much of their identity is built on control, they will do their utmost to hide any insecurities. Often with false humility or self-depreciating humor. They may be inflexible and pessimistic, but they are also great problem solvers, facing conflicts head-on with shrewd, calculating minds. They see one true path among an infinite snarl of wrong ones. They tend to be introverted, but if you win their trust, Durst Dreamers are extremely powerful allies. However, they find sincere vulnerability difficult and will often keep people at arm's length. Letting go and living in the moment is hard for a Durst Dreamer. They constantly look toward the future and analyze the past. Boy, howdy. Is that not true? I mean, no, that's 100% accurate. I do... Oh, wow. It's so weird reading these. Like I said, I don't put a lot of stock into astrology, and I've read that the astrology is all bullshit anyway. But I'm not shitting on you if you believe it or anything like that, but, like, I read something about how there was this test where they handed each person out a different sign and they stripped into the astrology, and they told them to read it, and, like, everyone started saying, oh yeah, that's so like me. Then they revealed that they were all the exact same thing. So I guess this weird mental thing. So I don't put a whole lot of stock into it, but man, still reading it, it's like, wow, okay. And finally, aspect mind. Those bound to the aspect of mind are, you guessed it, the universe's great thinkers. But don't for a second think that means they have all the answers. They are very concerned with remaining rational, and they have such a firm hold on the constant conjunction of their thinking that it's easy for them to see the multitudes of the choices laid out before them, which often leaves them frozen and unable to act. Boy. That said, when a mind-bound finally launches into action, they can execute a plan with unbelievable grace and precision. Their identity is fluid. It can change from day to day, from thought to thought, from interaction to interaction. Remaining logical is more important to them than building up a solid foundation of self. At their best, they are great innovators, architects, and creators. At their worst, they can be nasty, inflexible, and indecisive. Once again, reading it, I feel like I can connect to that on a deeper level than I thought possible, than I had ever imagined. So that's okay. So like I said before, the unofficial questionnaire is what I was going for. Is that I was a Knight of Mind. Now going through this, I think I was a Durst Dreamer before. I think there was a part of that said which Dreamer you were. I don't remember exactly. But now, like, Scorza is the blue sign, Za is Durst and Mind. So, I don't know, it's interesting. Now, like, I got Void from the unofficial one, but now this is like the official extended Zodiac by the creator of Homestuck and Hiveswap, which I assume means hussy. Finding out that I have mind aspect. I would like to see an addition to the different types of classes, like knight, page, things like that. I don't know if they're going to, just because having your full class spec is a lot of fun. But yeah, that was That's interesting. Way longer than I thought it was going to be. It's half an hour to take this test and read through everything. And I hope you guys sat down and joined me for this ride. You get to learn a little bit about myself. This was more of like a vlog type thing as I went through this. Yeah, I guess we're gonna call that a video. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you went all the way and bared with it for me, if you liked it, leave a like. Just click that little like button, little thumbs up button. Share it with your friends. Show them. Have them take the test. See what all your friends are like. If you haven't taken the test, take it so we can all converse and come together and see what our suburb game would look like. Subscribe. New Friendsim video, pretty much, as long as it's going through, as long as it's going, every week, except for this week, at 1 p.m. Friday, Eastern Time. I'm all over the fucking place, man. I'm sorry. I just got done recording Karako, so I'm still lost on this. What was that last one? Oh yeah, comment! Let me know what you guys think. Leave your extended Zodiac sign down in the comments. Like what dreamer you are, what your sign is, what the fucking thing is, what aspect you are. It's just a fun thing. It's just a fun little thing to prep for, ideally, Hiveswap Act 2. And leave a comment what you guys think I should do after Friendsim's done. Ideally, Hiveswap Act 2 is coming out. Don't know what's happening because of all the shit show that's happening with that. But if you have any recommendations on games you'd like to see me play in the future, just let me know. I think, like I said, next week we're going to have a full 2-part episode of the last volume, or the most recent volume of Friendsim. And then probably sometime in the near future, I'm going to set up a stream and go back and do all the other endings. I'm planning on doing all the other endings that I missed. Hi, Tulip. From the Friendsim volumes. So that ought to be a thing. But anyway, I'm rambling again. So, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you liked it, and hope to see you next time. Later.